Would you believe me if this can transform into a kettle that you can use on your backpacking stove? Well, folks, really excited. Welcome back to the outdoors and another gear review. And we're looking again at the Sea to Summit X-Kettle. And what's really unique about Sea to Summit is that they have a lot of these concepts of this silicone collapsible products, different types of particularly eatware, cookware, that type of stuff. And what's really interesting and why I picked this up is because I'm always looking to lower my footprint when I'm carrying gear. You know, I always got heavy packs, so I'm trying to lighten the load, take up less space. And what I really like about it is the fact that it is this collapsible, system to store two polymer cups in here as well. So it's a very slim, lightweight profile. Now, obviously the drawback being that the sides are silicone. You can't cook over a fire with it ever. You got to have an element, to make sure that the heat is consistently on the bottom, not on the side. So that could be a drawback for you. That could be a total win for you because you don't usually campfire usually. So we're going to break it all down. I'm going to show you it up against some standard, regular, aluminum or steel cookware as well. Just show you what it has to offer, price points, value, and whether or not this X-Kettle from Sea to Summit is something that would be of value to you, or if it's just too gimmicky for you and it's better to pass on it and go with something that's more classic in the cookware arena. So folks, here we are. I'm gonna break it down for you. And again, just to kind of reiterate here, this is designed to be over some sort of fuel-based element, not a campfire. So, and you want to make sure that the flames never go past this bottom. Now this is, what is it, 66 T aluminum bottom, so good aircraft grade aluminum, and then food grade silicone sidewalls, and then glass reinforced nylon handles that we'll look at here in just a moment. So they are going to give you the pot when you purchase this with that nice little tether just to keep the lid on it. You can pull that little guy off. You just want to make sure not to lose that because that could be a no-no. Then you got your little polymer lid right there in your arms, and you pop this bad boy up. And for some reference as we discuss and compare, I am going to be throwing in the GSI Pinnacle Soloist. This is an aluminum cook system as well that I really like a lot, just to give us some reference points on weight, size, capacity, and does it really make sense to drop the money on this X-Kettle from Sea to Summit. Without the Walmart mugs, 6.9 ounces. With the two Walmart mugs, 11.2. Soloist with the cup, the lid, and the pot itself, 9.5. We're looking at about 6 inches. Thickness, 1.2 inches. Diameter is about 4.8 inches. 5 inches deep. All right, folks, so I've taken this out on a couple day hikes, and this thing can do exactly what it claims it can do. If you have a cook stove, an element of any kind, it will boil water quickly. I like Sea to Summit. I've liked their quality. I've had many of their products over the years. The silicone holds up well. The aluminum, the anodized aluminum is working well. It boils the water quickly. It's functional. It's easy to then pour and use for making coffee on the trail, or if you're filling up a dehydrated meal. Those type of things would really be ideal. Again, you could cook a thing of soup or something like that, but that wouldn't be ideal. It'd be a little irritating to clean out. This is not dishwasher safe. You have to wash it by hand, so it's another aspect to consider as well. So again, it does exactly what it claims to do, but what it claims to do, is that really what we need? And there are some things I want to hit on. First off, you can see here on the side of it, it has a maximum fill line with good graduations there, and then the graduations continue, but they don't want you basically filling it up past 0.8 liters or 27 fluid ounces, which is kind of low for the boiling of water in a lot of different items, including this GSI Pinnacle Soloist right next to it, which can handle 37 ounces, so, or 1.1 liters. So it can definitely handle a lot more water, this Soloist next to it, than this guy. That's about enough on the Sea to Summit for 2 cups of coffee, 1 dehydrated meal, those type of things, whereas this Pinnacle Soloist can definitely handle 2 to 3 people easily. So that's something to consider. It's really like a 1.5 man, 2 man max with this Sea to Summit. Whereas there's a lot of other options out there for similar money that we'll talk about here in just a second. So just be aware of that aspect. Now I want to touch on price, and then we're going to look at an aspect that may make you think twice about this Sea to Summit kettle. Now, the kettle itself goes for about $40. That's what you're going to be buying, and it's just the kettle and the lid and the tether. That's what you're getting when you throw down $40. And then if you want it with the two Sea to Summit mugs, collapsible mugs, again, we're ripping it off and doing Walmart here, but they will absolutely function and fit in there with those guys back in there. The Sea to Summit, you can get it with the two that will fit inside from Sea to Summit, and that's going to run you about $60 for the entire setup with the two cups. I paid like $1.50 for each of these cups, so I saved myself a considerable amount of money and dropped it in there, and they, again, fit fine if you're going to go with this kind of idea and system. Now, to consider, this GSI Soloist that is fully aluminum, has the lid, has an internal mug / cup that you can put the lid on and do all kinds of stuff with, and it will come with a little collapsible spork that's okay, and a waterproof stuff sack that you can use as a sink to clean stuff out or carry extra water. It's gonna be about $45 to $50 for everything you see there. So for just the pot, for about $5 more than the Sea to Summit, you can get that entire Soloist setup. That's a really big thing to consider. So we will have links in the description below over to backcountry.com, Amazon, so you guys can take a look at these two items. I'll throw in a few other good cook sets that I have used and recommend regularly that you can kind of weigh what is the best option, what's the best feature for you, and we appreciate it when you use those hyperlinks that we offer to you below. But this is the other aspect that I did want to kind of throw your way. So in order to use the Sea to Summit, right, we have to have some form of element. I have here the Pocket Rocket from MSR 2.0, and we have to have a fuel source. Now, what's great with the Soloist over here, we throw that cup back in there, we throw our fuel pod, and it can fit larger fuel pods even than that. We throw our element, and the lid will just fit over, and we're good to go. So it's self-contained in that way, and the whole selling point of the Sea to Summit would be lightweight and that it's collapsible, so it doesn't take up as much as a footprint on your or in your bag. So when you look at it collapse, you're like, man, that takes up no room in my pack. I mean, that's going to be amazing. Well, when we sit there and then put the idea of the fuel pod and the element together, we're actually looking at something that's slightly higher than the GSI, and it's not really saving a whole lot in footprint. Now, you can divvy it up, obviously, which is a little bit nicer, so that you could have that little flying disc, basically, of the Sea to Summit in one pocket, and then you could have your element in another and your pod in another area and kind of organize it that way. So organizationally, it helps a little bit, but in actual footprint, you're not really gaining all that much, and that's the whole idea, that's the whole selling point with this system. So I really feel, guys, like it's a niche product. It does exactly what it says it does, and it's a good materials, you know, it's all put together well, but in the idea of really saving on space, would it be better just to go with a solid bodied aluminum or stainless steel frame cook set that would be able to handle and be more durable and have an area for you to actually store your fuel pod and your element? That's something you're gonna have to think about and really decide with the Sea to Summit. Is the compact, lightweight aspect to it really worth the investment? Hopefully this has just helped you out decide whether or not the Sea to Summit kettle and its system is the right choice for you, or if there's a better way to go, more inexpensive way to go in your cooking and particularly boiling water scenarios. So thank you so much. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media, throwing up videos all the time and information over on the Instagram and Facebook pages. And subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. We're throwing up videos like this all the time as well. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.